We're talking about GloRilla, Memphis' own breakout rap star, fresh off a stint behind bars, storming back into the spotlight and immediately making headlines for confronting none other than Angela Simmons, the fashion mogul and daughter of hip-hop royalty. And why, you ask? Because allegedly, Yo Gotti, the same man who publicly shot his shot at Angela for years and eventually won her over, admitted that he spent the night at Angela's house while GloRilla was still in prison. Yes, you heard that right. The man at the center of it all, Yo Gotti, somehow managed to entangle the two women in a messy, scandalous storyline that fans cannot stop dissecting. So today, we're unpacking the confrontation, the backstory, the timeline, and of course, the fallout. Because this isn't just about GloRilla and Angela Simmons. This is about trust, betrayal, history, and the way relationships get tangled when fame, money, and egos are involved. To understand why GloRilla's confrontation with Angela Simmons is so explosive, we have to rewind a bit and look at her connection to Yo Gotti. GloRilla, born Gloria Hallelujah Woods, is one of the brightest stars to emerge from Memphis in recent years. After her viral hit F&S took the internet by storm, it wasn't long before Yo Gotti, the CEO of CNG Records, stepped in to sign her to his label. That move instantly elevated her career, putting her in front of millions of fans worldwide and giving her credibility in an industry that isn't easy to navigate. From the outside looking in, the GloRilla and Yo Gotti partnership seemed like one of the most solid artist-label relationships in hip-hop. But as is often the case, fans couldn't help but speculate if their connection went deeper than just business. Now add Angela Simmons into this mix, and you've got a love triangle waiting to explode. For years, Yo Gotti had been very public about his admiration for Angela. He literally rapped about her in Down in the DM, and fans loved how bold he was about it. At first, Angela brushed it off, maintaining her cool, classy persona and not giving him too much attention. But fast forward a few years, and suddenly Angela and Gotti are seen vacationing together, stepping out hand in hand, and looking every bit like a couple. For many fans, it was a manifestation story come true. The rapper who shot his shot at his dream girl actually got her. But for others, it raised eyebrows, especially once GloRilla came into the picture. The real mess started during a very difficult time for GloRilla. In the middle of her rise, she faced legal troubles that led to a brief period behind bars. While she was locked up, she had to deal with the reality that life outside was still moving on without her. The music industry, her label, and of course, her relationships. And this is where Yo Gotti allegedly slipped up. According to multiple whispers in the industry, Gotti admitted to a close associate that during the time Glo was away, he spent the night at Angela Simmons' house. Whether this was a platonic sleepover between old flames or something more intimate, the fact remains, it did not look good, and once that confession made its way back to GloRilla, it lit a firestorm of emotions. Think about it. Imagine being in Glo's position, dealing with the stress and isolation of jail, only to come out and hear that not only has the world been speculating about your relationship with your label head, but that same man was allegedly cozying up with another woman during your absence. And not just any woman, Angela Simmons, the one he's openly thirsted over for years. The optics alone are damning. And when you add in the emotional layers, loyalty, respect, and timing, it's not hard to see why GloRilla was ready to confront Angela face to face. According to multiple eyewitnesses, the confrontation went down at a private event in Atlanta. Angela Simmons was there, looking radiant as always, mixing and mingling, networking, and taking photos. Everything seemed normal until GloRilla walked in. And the moment Glo entered the room, people could feel the energy shift. The Memphis rapper wasn't smiling, wasn't playing. She had a purpose, and that purpose was Angela Simmons. Sources say Glo made a beeline straight to Angela and, without hesitation, dropped a bomb. So, you thought it was cute having Gotti at your house while I was locked up. You could have heard a pin drop. The music didn't stop, but the conversations around them did. Angela, ever the picture of composure, allegedly tried to defuse the situation by calmly saying, "Whatever happened between me and Gotti is between me and Gotti. That doesn't concern you." But baby, Glo was not having it. Reports claim she shot back with something along the lines of, "Don't play with me. You knew I was locked up and you still opened your doors. That's foul." At this point, people nearby were glued to the exchange. Security apparently started moving in, not because fists were flying, but because the words were sharp enough to cut through glass. It was tense, it was heated, and it was the kind of moment that could have turned physical if either woman decided to escalate. Now, Angela Simmons is no stranger to being in the spotlight, but she has always carried herself with dignity. She's from the Simmons dynasty, daughter of Rev Run, and she's built her own brand on class and grace. So, of course, she wasn't about to engage in a screaming match in the middle of an event. Instead, sources say she stood her ground, calmly telling Glo, "Look, if you have a problem, you need to take it up with Gotti. I don't owe you anything." And let's be real for a second. Angela had a point. If Gotti chose to spend the night at her place, then he's the one who crossed the line. But at the same time, fans are quick to argue that Angela should have respected the fact that Glo was locked up and avoided the situation entirely. After all, when you know a man has two women's attention in the public eye, entertaining him in any capacity can be seen as adding fuel to the fire. Still, Angela wasn't about to apologize for something she didn't see as her fault. And that calmness, it only made GloRilla more frustrated. With the confrontation making waves in whispers and blogs, people naturally turned their attention to Yo Gotti. Surely, the man at the center of this mess would have something to say, right? Wrong. Instead of addressing it head-on, Gotti went quiet. No interviews, no Instagram lives, no press statements. Just a couple of cryptic posts on social media. Things like, "The truth always comes out and can't break what's solid." Which truth, though, and solid with who? Those were the questions burning in fans' minds. Gotti's silence only made things worse, because in gossip culture, silence often reads as guilt. If it was innocent, why not just say it? Why not clear Angela's name? Why not ease GloRilla's mind? Instead, by saying nothing, he left the door open for speculation, and speculation is what blogs and fans thrive on. As always, the internet had a lot to say. On one side, you had Team GloRilla, fans who argued that she was well within her rights to check Angela. They pointed out that Glo has already faced struggles in her career and doesn't need the added drama of her label head being messy. To them, Angela should have drawn a hard line and refused to entertain Gotti at all. On the other side, you had Team Angela, who felt like she was unfairly dragged into a situation that had nothing to do with her. They argued that Angela and Gotti have history, that she doesn't owe GloRilla loyalty, and that if Gotti chose to confess about spending the night at her house, that's on him, not her. And then, of course, you had the conspiracy theorists. Some fans believe this entire situation is a carefully crafted PR stunt. Think about it. GloRilla fresh out of jail, Angela Simmons trending again, and Yo Gotti smack in the middle. Could it all just be promo for Glo's upcoming music, Angela's businesses, and Gotti's projects? In the entertainment world, stranger things have happened. So what happens next in this messy triangle? Well, insiders say GloRilla is not done. While she may not have physically fought Angela, she allegedly walked away from that confrontation, vowing to set the record straight. Some think that means a diss track is coming, full of subliminals aimed at Angela Simmons. Others think Glo's going to take it up directly with Gotti behind closed doors and demand loyalty from him moving forward. Angela, meanwhile, seems unbothered. She's posting glamorous photos, promoting her brands, and refusing to even mention GloRilla's name. That kind of silence only makes people more curious, and Angela knows it. As for Gotti, he remains the wild card. His next move could determine whether this blows over quietly or explodes into something much bigger. If he chooses to publicly defend Angela, it could drive a wedge between him and GloRilla. If he sides with Glo, it could damage his relationship with Angela. Either way, he's stuck in the middle of two powerful women, and that's not a position anyone envies.